Hey friends, Sean from Draft Therapy here, and on today's review for you, take off that peel, it's time to get bananas. Bananas Foster Porter is a 13.2% rum barrel aged porter from New Holland Brewing Company in Holland, Michigan. I used to think that some of the most exciting beer that New Holland was producing was always the stuff that they were doing with their Dragon's Milk Reserve series, but it seems like lately they're going more out on a limb with their Brewer's Best series. Now, if you're not familiar with what the Brewer's Best series is, it's where they seem to experiment a little bit more with flavors and ingredients. Now, this one, for example, is a take on Bananas Foster, which if you aren't familiar with what that is, it's a dessert of bananas, ice cream, and rum. They light it on fire, flambe it to caramelize everything, and from the description, it almost sounds like one of Perrin's No Rules releases, but we'll get to that in a second. If you're interested in some of the other releases in New Holland's Brewer's Best series, I'll leave a link to the reviews of the series up in this corner. You can check out the ones that I've talked about, but enough with the talking about it. Let's get to the beer. But first, I'd like to thank my executive producers, Brian Kramer, David Jeffries, Vinny Cat, and Cam Freeman for helping to bring this review to you today. If you'd like to become a producer, help out the channel, or maybe just throw me a couple bucks to buy me a beer, take a look at my Patreon at patreon.drafttherapy.com, where you can get early access to these videos and a few other special perks available only to patrons. Let's take a look at the label, because that's what we're going to start with. So this is a really nice bright label. I love the colors on this. As you can see, it's primarily yellow with a lot of other colors in here. Across the front on the top, it says New Holland Brewing Company. This is the newer logo that they've kind of came out with a couple years ago. It has all these different lines. It kind of reminds me of like ice cream, basically, with these kind of stripes in it for the different, chocolate in it, stuff like that. Underneath that, it says Bananas Foster Porter, and this is where that whole no rules part comes in. Rum Barrel Aged Porter with bananas, Vietnamese cinnamon, and other natural flavors. This is 13.2% alcohol by volume. And on the side here, it says Brewer's Best Series. You can see the logo here. It's the 3 barrels. It says brewed and canned in Holland, Michigan for Geselig times, handcrafted in small batches. If we turn it to the other side, it says New Holland Brewing Company Brewer's Best Series. This is the first one for 2022. If you've ever had Bananas Foster, you know that it's the best dessert ever made by mankind. This is why we've brewed a decadent porter with bananas, brown sugar, and Vietnamese cinnamon, and aged in Barbados rum barrels. This is the greatest and best dessert in the world. Tribute. Underneath that, it says limited release, explains what the Brewer's Best series is. Basically, it's a unique series. They use the best ingredients, best flavors to tell a story of creativity and craft that's meant to be shared. Again, from them to you, this is their Brewer's Best, and lets you know their website, newhollandbrew.com. Brewed and canned by New Holland Brewing Company in Holland, Michigan. The government warning. This was canned on February 16th, 2022. I'm recording this on March 19th, so this has been out for about a month. I know it's been on shelves for a little bit. I finally just found it. It kind of started hitting all around me like all of a sudden, so I wanted to pick it up. So I'm going to use a snifter style glass here for a 13.2%, maybe produce a little bit better or more aroma. So let's go ahead and crack it. We'll put it in the can. We'll talk about it, do all that good stuff. So give it a little crack here. Put a nose on the can. It smells like I'm getting a lot of rum, a nice rum aroma. I'm not a big rum fan, but I'm getting a nice sweet rum aroma. I am getting a bananas aroma in there too. Maybe a little bit of a sweet vanilla. The banana I'm smelling is more of like a kind of a green banana kind of smell to it. It's not like a super ripe banana. Let's go ahead and pour this. Coming out pretty dark, like a dark brown out of the can. It's a little bit transparent on the pour. We're going to tip that up. We're just going to pour it right down the center, see how much of that head we can churn up. And looking at the head, it's a little bit of a darker head. It's a little bit more of like a tan, maybe almost khaki colored head. Getting about a finger at the most. If you see from the overhead, it's got a little bit of a dense, compact head, but there is really not much head, as you can see from the front view. There's not really a whole lot of head here. I'm picking up on a little bit of the rum aroma just out of the glass, holding it up to the light there. Very dark, obviously very opaque. Almost, I would say it's probably pretty black around the bulb of the glass with these lighter kind of dark beers, which again is a oxymoron, right? A little bit of a contradiction there. There is a little bit of a brown hue to it. The reason I was saying the no rules stuff is with the Vietnamese cinnamon. I have really not heard of many other beers that actually call out that it's Vietnamese cinnamon, and that's No Rules is a Vietnamese porter. They had a rum barrel aged version, so that's kind of why I'm equating those two. Let's put a nose on the glass. I'm getting a little bit more of a boozy characteristic. The banana that's coming through now is a little bit more of that kind of ripe banana, still a little bit on the green edge. Don't ask me why I know what a green banana smells like. And getting a little bit of that vanilla aroma as well. Not really picking up much on the cinnamon on the nose, but we'll taste it and see if we taste any cinnamon. So cheers. The mouthfeel is actually considerably lighter than I was expecting. Now it's a porter. Porters don't have generally that really heavy mouthfeel like you would expect from, especially like a barrel-aged stout or just a stout in general. They have like that lighter kind of mouthfeel. They just kind of glide over. So it definitely has a lighter note. It's actually kind of almost on the light side of medium. So that's a little bit different. I was expecting it because being maybe barrel aged, maybe that should have thinned out the mouthfeel itself. Maybe I shouldn't really have expected that, but for some reason it's not coming through quite as thick as I was expecting. Let's talk about the flavor. So you get that boozy kind of rum taste right up at the beginning. I said earlier that I'm not really a rum barrel aged fan. I'm not really a rum fan in general. But the rum that comes through in this on the very upfront isn't really like offensive. It's actually kind of pleasant. Like I'm actually really enjoying the rum that comes through because it's there. It has a little bit of a boozy kick at the very beginning, but it's not overpowering. It's not one of those things where the spiced rum really takes over, but it is very much in the forefront of the flavor. You get a lot of that rum just right up at the upfront, and then a cinnamon really starts to kick in. So you're getting a nice cinnamon. Once that goes down, and you swallow that, it goes down your throat. That's when this really pleasant banana flavor actually comes through, and banana can come through. Coconut and banana are two flavors that can be they're really subtle between being very good and being just way too much, right? Like you can get coconut and banana sometimes can be like, oh, this is spot on. Banana is actually really hard to pull off. I feel like I haven't really had a lot of beers that pull off banana really well, especially not like local Michigan craft beer. But they can start to cross that threshold and become kind of like that suntan lotion, kind of bitter, like not really a flavor that you want to taste in beer. But this one comes through really pleasant. It definitely walks that fine line, and I feel like even breweries, or even I'm sorry, not breweries, but even people that don't like that really strong banana taste, it's just a really nice subtle banana. And I want to say one of the Dragon's Milk, one of the yellow ones. I'm trying to see if I have like a bottle around here, but it was like a banana and coconut, I thought. And they did really well on both fronts for that particular beer, so it doesn't really surprise me that they pull off the banana quite as well as they do. Yeah, it's just got a nice kind of rum barrel flavor up front. You get that rum taste, you get that cinnamon comes through definitely even on the subsequent tastes. The cinnamon still comes through pretty good. Again, not overly strong, not overly out there. It kind of fades and gently like leans into this banana that comes through on the aftertaste, and the vanilla comes through as well. It's just it's a really good beer, and it's actually really kind of surprising. I haven't really been super impressed with the Dragon's Milk Reserve series lately, and the Brewer's Best have been, to me, have been a little bit hit or miss. Sometimes they're pretty good, and sometimes they're okay. And I feel like this one's pretty good. Now, I feel like all the flavors, they're not really like bursting, like in your face, super strong flavors. I feel like they're really kind of subtle just all the way throughout. Like you're getting the rum, you're getting the cinnamon, you're getting the banana, you're getting the vanilla, but none of those are really strong in any one direction. I feel like the porter style actually really lends to that. If this was a stout, I feel like it could be very overpowering, but because it's a little bit more mild, like a porter is, a little bit kind of smoother, a little bit kind of subdued, like a chill kind of vibe that you get out of this, I feel like it's a perfect match. Like this is a really good beer. I don't feel, again, like there are bursting flavors by any means anywhere throughout this beer, but I feel like all the subtle kind of flavors that mash together with the rum, again, the cinnamon, the banana, the vanilla, they just all really lend themselves together well. They're not super standout, not super in your face, but I feel like it really does match the whole Bananas Foster kind of vibe that they're going for. I think it's a really good job. If you are a person that likes banana, or you like a kind of dessert style beer but don't want to go overboard, it's 13.2%. So in that respect, it's a little bit high, but you're not going to feel like you drank like a breakfast cereal or like you drank a dessert, right? It has those notes to it, but it's not overpowering in any direction. It's really nice and smooth, really subtle, and it's a good flavor overall. You're not going to feel like you drank a sugar bomb at the end, and you're going to get a nice buzz out of 13.2%. So I feel like across the board, this is actually a big surprise, and I'm really happy with the way that this turned out, especially the way they describe it and the way that you get it. All right, friends, that has been Bananas Foster Porter from New Holland Brewing Company in Holland, Michigan. Have you had this one yet? Do you prefer the Brewer's Best series, or maybe you think the Dragon's Milk Reserve series is better? Let me know in the comments down below. While you're down there, if you like beer, you might want to subscribe and click that bell. I'm here talking about beer twice a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays, all for free, and it's all for viewers just like you. And you might miss your newest favorite, or you might not know that you could have avoided a clunker if you weren't subscribing, getting those notifications. Lots of double negatives in there, so hopefully that made sense. So until next time, I'm Sean from Draft Therapy. Thanks for stopping by. Remember, drink craft beer, support your local breweries. These guys are in Holland, Michigan. And until next time, don't forget to treat yourself to a little draft therapy. Thanks for watching, everybody. See you next time. Cheers.